Hey guys, this is Charlie at Heid Music, and today we've got something really cool to show you. It is the new Ledges pedal by Earthquaker Devices. It's an awesome reverb pedal that has a ton of functionality hidden in it, and it's just great. So I'm super excited to show you this and go through all the features that this thing has. But before we do that, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications so you know when we've got even more awesome videos like this to show you. So this is the Ledges by Earthquaker Devices. It is a reverb pedal that has a lot of awesome different features and stuff like that hidden into it. You can have it be a super just straightforward room, hall, or plate reverb, or you can go a little bit more in depth and get some kind of weird stuff out of it if you want to. So to start out with, the basic controls on the front of this, it has a length, which is the length of a reverb, mix, which is just the overall volume of the reverb, how much dry and wet signal you have, and then the damping knob, which what that does is it kind of mutes the higher shimmery tone of your reverb. So I've got some guitars that are super twangy sounding, and when you have a reverb combined with that, it gets a little bit unruly, so this can kind of help you manage that and get the reverb having a little bit more muted tone if that's what you're looking for. The other knob here is the preset knob, which we will get into a little bit more in depth in a minute, but basically what that does is you can save up to 6 presets of different reverb settings on this pedal, so you can just recall them super easy. The switch here switches between 3 different reverb types. It has a room, which is going to be a lot shorter, kind of more ambient room kind of sound, not as big and spacey. Hall, which is going to get to be a little bit more long of a reverb, and think, like a concert hall kind of a sound, so like a big room noise. And then the last one is plate, which plate is like that kind of chimey, slapbacky, a little bit reverb, but that is the longest setting. So if you actually take the length knob when you have it on the plate setting and turn it all the way up, it's infinite repeats. So it will just reverberate forever if you want it to. Not as usable, but still a pretty cool thing. It still sounds pretty neat. Those are the basic knobs and controls on the front of the pedal. The other thing that you're probably seeing on here is there's this green light. That switches between modes on the pedal. So when it is green, it's in what's called live mode. Live mode is whatever you have these dials set at, that's what it's going to sound like. If you press the button and turn it red, that puts it in preset mode. So whatever you have these presets on here saved as, that is what it'll run to. You can see too, I have it on one of the presets. If you start moving the knob, the light will start blinking. That lets you know that you just modified that preset, and you can just hold down. And now it's saved. So now whatever you have that set at on there is saved to that preset. The other cool feature that's hidden on here is this button is actually a momentary or latching button if you want it to be. So there's 2 different functionalities with the button. If you don't have it on and you press and hold, it'll stay on for as long as you're pressing down. You let go, turns off. If you have it on already and you have it in live mode and you hold down, it'll switch it to whatever preset you have on there. So it's an easy way to have, if you need to have 2 different kinds of reverb in a song, you can save one as a preset and set your dials to the other one, and that way you can bounce between 2 different settings of reverb. So if you just want to have a nice little room sound to just kind of fill up your guitar tone for part of it, but then for a solo you want it to be like this big, huge reverb, you can switch between those really, really easy on the pedal. The other last thing on here that is really cool is it does have an expression pedal out. The cool thing with the expression pedal is it's fully assignable. So any of these 3 knobs, you can assign the expression pedal to modify that knob. You basically just plug in the expression pedal, put it all the way back, turn the knob that you want it to modify, and then put the pedal forward, and that will set the expression pedal to then do whatever that knob does, and you can control it with an expression pedal instead of the knob on there. So again, like I said in the beginning, it's a really good sounding basic reverb if you want it to be, but there's a ton of extra features in here that can make this pedal work for literally anything you need a reverb pedal to work for. I absolutely love this thing because sometimes I just want a pedal that's it's just the knobs. It just does whatever the knobs are doing. But every now and again, you need to kind of have that switching back and forth between 2 different kinds of reverbs or having a whole bunch of different options. And that gives you that ability, but you don't have to do it. It can be as simple as you want it to be. And it doesn't hurt too that it's an Earthquaker Devices pedal, so you know it sounds amazing. So that being said, let's try this thing out and see how it sounds. Thanks for watching. I hope that you really enjoyed that overview of the new Ledges pedal from Earthquaker Devices. It's a great reverb, and I hope that it's got some sounds that you thought sounded really good. If you want to check this pedal out, or all the other amazing pedals that we have from Earthquaker Devices and all the other brands that we carry, come to one of our Heid Music locations, or check us out on heidmusic.com. Bye!